A very good evening to all our viewers. We are coming to you from Aizawl, the capital of Mizoram, one of the 5 states which are going to poll. Perhaps there is less media limelight on Mizoram, but the elections in Mizoram are as interesting as in the other 4 states. And in fact, it assumes a huge significance because it comes just ahead of the 2019 general election, and that is why both Rahul Gandhi, the president of Congress, and Amit Shah, the chief of BJP, were here in Mizoram campaigning for their party. While for the Congress, Mizoram is the only state in Northeast where it rules. It is the last bastion and it wants to save it. But for the BJP, it is a frontier that it wants to conquer. Remember, BJP has given out a slogan of Congress Mukt Northeast, and perhaps Mizoram is a test case for the BJP. We are coming to you live from the iconic Aizawl Club. As this was established in 1981, and this building, we are at the terrace of this building, and this building itself has been a witness to a lot of historical moments in Mizoram. Joining us today is a young crowd, young voters, and they are the people who would decide as to who goes on to win Mizoram. Remember, Mizoram have always had a history of government not lasting more than 10 years. So whether this time the Congress will be able to retain Mizoram, or the MNF, which is the main opposition party, would come to power once again, or the BJP can make a dent in electoral politics. To know all of this, we are joined by this interesting panel. First, to the women. Although women are vote in Mizoram in higher numbers, but there are very less women candidates. Ma'am, can I get your introduction?
Hi, my name is Rokimi and I'm an entrepreneur. Locally, I own a mobile platform-based business.
Okay, so today, Rahul Gandhi was here in Mizoram. Amit Shah was here in Mizoram. There was a high voltage campaigning. This is something new for Mizoram politics, for the voters. So how do you see this?
It's really interesting this year because there's been a lot of local controversies as well. I think you guys probably know about the protests that happened recently. It's a very interesting time to be a young voter. It's my first time voting, actually, because I was in the US for 10 years. And I really hope that something good comes out of it and we can see development in Mizoram continue, and hopefully as an entrepreneur, continued focus on entrepreneurship.
That's right. In fact, something better for Mizoram. That's everybody's hoping. Can I get your introduction?
My name is Wan Sanga and I am from the academic field.
And youngsters in Mizoram, they came out in large number when this protest took place on the streets of Aizawl, where people were unhappy with the election commission, with their decisions of the previous chief electoral officer. So the civil society is very powerful here. So how do you see this development? A lot of people say that there was a lot of politicking behind this.
Yes, civil society plays a very important role in this state. I'm sure that India has heard of the YMA and other NGOs having strong holds in this state. And yes, you can see at one point that it is quite political, but it depends on the person whether they see it as a political or non-political. It depends on the person.
That's right. So there you are. This gentleman is saying that the civil society movement in Mizoram is political, but also depends upon whether one see it as political or non-political. Moving on, this election in Mizoram, although there are only 40 seats, but in the previous elections, when it comes to electoral politics, it was all about Congress, which has been in power more or less in Mizoram ever since it became a full-fledged state, and the MNF, which grew out of the call for Mizo nationalism. But this time, we are witnessing a multi-cornered fight.
Yes.
You have the BJP, which is a new entrant, and you also have the coalition of the smaller parties, the ZPM. So as a voter, how do you see this multi-corner fight?
Yes, first of all, my name is Mizoram Puya. I'm entrepreneur. As seeing at the history of Mizoram election, we always have one-on-one fight. That is, in the recent past, we have MNF versus Congress. I think this time also the same competition happened. That is between MNF and Congress again. We never have third front succeed in the history of Mizoram election. Once we have, that is in the year 1998, wherein Dr. H. Lalongmona was elected as MP Lok Sabha as independent candidate, supported by MNF and presently ZNP and MPC and Citizen Common Front. But later that year, MLA election happened. That election is between MNF and Congress again, and fortunately MNF came into power. That's it. I think the same thing applies in this year.
So you're trying to say that although there are these regional parties in the fray, BJPs in the fray, but the main fight is between the Congress and the MNF. Do you agree, ma'am?
I'll first introduce myself. My name is Ruad Dikimar, and I'm currently pursuing my PhD from Mizoram University. And if it was the past, I would say yes, again, it's a two-way battle between MNF and the Congress. But let's take into the account, in the case of Delhi, where the AAP government, they formed the third front, and they're doing such lovely work, especially if we take into account their contribution in education. The AAP government has brought so many development and transformation in Delhi, and I think the same is in Mizoram. I cannot say for sure that the third front will win, but besides the MNF and the Congress, with the entrance of the third front, which is an amalgamation of the smaller regional parties, they've actually awoken the minds and the feelings of the youth. I mean now, especially in the third front, we have a lot of young youth voters, a lot of young youth people who are very active. So I think it's a very tight battle, and I think this is the third front which people want to see. There are many people who say, okay, if it's just between the MNF and the Congress, what voice do we have, what chance do we have? But now with the third front, we, the youth, are actually given enough platform to raise our voices, raise our concerns, and to ensure that there's actually all-around development. So I don't think it's a two-way battle. I think it's a three-way battle between MNF, Congress, and the third front, ZPM.
Well, so here is one voice which is in favor of the third front. In fact, the ZPM, which is is a platform of smaller regional parties, is also making a lot of buzz, particularly in the urban areas. We'll now talk to a few more people, trying to get more sense of what this election means. Sir, can I get your introduction? And tell us, when you hear Rahul Gandhi, when you heard Rahul Gandhi today, he spoke about, he's alleged that BJP is trying to do a piggy ride on MNF. Do you agree to this?
Okay, thank you. My name is Aldrin. I am BTech Civil Engineer. Okay, about your question, yes, Rahul Gandhi has indeed said that, but in the minds of the youth and the society as a whole, I think that is what he was supposed to say. He was supposed to say that. Rahul Gandhi was supposed to say something about the BJP, and the BJP are supposed to say, frankly, we are tired of this kind of battle. See, we the youth of Mizoram, we want something for us. We want someone to inspire us, okay? Not just battle between what's good and what he has done and what he has done wrong. Not those kind of personal battles. We are tired of that. We want something long, something that is strong, something we can hold on to for the next generation, for like the rest of our generations to come, for Mizoram. Rahul Gandhi has said so many things, yes. Shah also said something. Even the Tripura state has said something about BJPs and MNF, and even the Assam BJP president has also said something about the Congress president, Lalthan Hola, like they have some affiliations and all. It's rumors, yes, all those rumors will come to place because it is election week, this election month. So if we are supposed to acknowledge all those rumors, then we will not have enough mind to think about it.
That's right. Very important point, that there is a lot of rumor mongering also by all the political parties using social media. Can I get your introduction and tell us what he's saying, that MNF, Congress, they've switched power between each other every 10 years. But there is a sense of being let down, particularly the younger generation. Or is this sense is only with the younger generation, or is it a sense all over Mizoram?
Okay, thank you. And my name is Sizon Moya. I teach at a college here in Mizoram. So, yeah, my hunch is, if we look back over the past 30 years after statehood, and we have seen 20 years of Congress government and 10 years of MNF government, and with the same leadership even till today. So I think many people have this feeling that, yes, we have seen enough of their capability. We have seen enough of what they can do. So that is, I think, I have some sort of agreements with them. And a lot of people feel that we need to change the government. So there is anti-incumbency factor. But at the same time, apart from this election hangama, I just want to sort of pose a very simple question to the people in general and politicians in general. And when we visualize or imagine the idea of democracy in India and the personal battle, the electoral rhetorics, where do we locate the people the most? Right. Where are the people?
That's a very important point that you're making, that when will the politician deliver beyond electoral rhetorics? So, this election just a week ahead, there was so much of uncertainty with protest on the streets. Youngsters were leading it. The Congress made an allegation that the BJP is trying to polarize voters in Mizoram on the basis of community. The majority Mizos versus the minority communities like the Chakmas and the Brus. On the other hand, the BJP is saying that it is coming into Mizoram politics with a promise of development. With the same pace of development it promises that other parts of the country is witnessing. That's what the BJP claims. Is BJP really changing the political landscape in Mizoram?
First of all, my name is Francis Saito. I'm a businessman. I'm from Zarkot community. Okay. Regarding to your question, the BJP from the onset has targeted the minority communities. That is the Chakma and the Bru communities. That is where their chances. Like the big shot, the star campaigner like the Prime Minister Modi, the Home Minister Rajnath Singh, and the Defense Minister, and Amit Shah, and Himanta Singh, and even the Tripura Chief Minister, all throw their weight in those areas like the Chongte, Longklai, Siha, and Mamit, where you get where the majority of voters are Tripura belongs to that community, that is the Bru and the Chakma community. They know where they get their chances, so they try to capitalize on that, so they invest heavily on that. So you don't see Modi campaigning in Aizawl, you don't see Rajnath Singh or Amit Shah campaigning in Serchhip, which is the constituency of the reigning chief minister, the main rival CM Tanhola. So the point is clear. So now Modi is coming on 23rd, and he will go to south, maybe Siha, or maybe he will pit stop here and there. So that the point is clear.
So you are saying that yes, BJP has been able to kind of polarize voters in Mizoram. That's right.
Yes,
ma'am,
right.
If BJP is doing that, but BJP is also promising some new things. When Rajnath Singh campaigned here in the remote areas, he did promise better roads, and road is a issue in Mizoram elections. So don't you think that people in the rural areas particularly, they would like to be on the same path of development as what BJP is promising? Because also given the fact that BJP, or rather Mizoram, has got only one seat in the parliament, so it will be the tendency of any party other than the Congress, if even a regional party comes to power, to be with the party which is in power in center. So whether the people would this time like to be in a formation, vote for a formation which they feel would come to power at center in 2019?
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm one of the young voters of Mizoram. I believe that anyone for development should win, whether it's the BJP, whether it's the Congress, whoever it is. We need better roads. We need better access for rural people. All of those things. If a government can give us that, then I will vote for that government. So I believe that Mizoram needs a change. We need a developmental change, and that's what I'm going to vote for.
Well, there you are. She's a first-time voter, and she says that Mizoram needs development. Mizoram needs new things, and there's a mood among young voters that they might, support a change in government. Well, let's try to talk more on this in terms of the issues that this time are there in the Mizoram elections. We would like to again talk to some people in this side. Ma'am, if I can ask you that, there's so much of buzz about the fact that every 10 years Mizoram chooses a new government. The chief minister in his rallies have been claiming that jinx is going to be broken, and he's going to, he says, that there will be a hat trick to power for him. Do you think that the Congress has performed well in this last 5 years or last 10 years?
Hello, my name is Lauren, and I am the managing partner of Mizoram Consultancy Group. We've been working with entrepreneurs for the last 2 years, and I've actually been away from India for since then. So my exposure to the government has just been of the past 2 years. My experience of the Congress government in terms of entrepreneur support has been excellent, actually. They have passed on a policy that has been recommended for the rest of northeastern states, and we have received so much support for the entrepreneurs, and we have seen a lot of improvement in terms of economies changing, in terms of ideas being received well. So in that way, yes, this Congress has been doing quite well.
So there you are. She's a young entrepreneur, and she says that the NDTV program, which has been the flagship program of the Congress government, has actually helped growth of entrepreneurship in Mizoram. Well, that has been the mood of a lot of youngsters that we met on the streets of Aizawl as well as other areas, and that is exactly what is making this election very interesting, that there is anti-incumbency, but there is also a lot of support among the young voters towards Congress and Lanthanwala. We'll discuss more on the issues, the poll issues of Mizoram right after this break.